G'day guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoyed today's bloody good episode. I do hope that you sit back, relax, and I do hope you chuck a prawn at the barbie because let's get right into today's episode. Let's just do it. Posted by user Throwaway Multilingo, titled, "Am I the asshole here for telling a friend what her tattoo really says?" Throwaway. Friend group knows my main account. I, 37 male, went out New Year's Eve with a group of friends, and the group had some friends of friends too. Basically, people I've only known in passing. One of them, Andy, 39 male, brought his girlfriend Julie, 30s female. Julie decided to show a tattoo that she got last week. She rolled up her sleeve to show it, and she announced proudly that it said, "Strength and Beauty" in Chinese. It was on her forearm, and I almost spit took. Now, I have to explain that I'm half Korean, but people have mistaken me as Hispanic, so I don't really look Korean to most Westerners. I'm also not fluent, but conversational in Korean and able to read. The tattoo was in Hangul characters, and it definitely did not say strength and beauty. Julie got upset at my spit take and asked what my problem was. I said, "It's not Chinese, and it doesn't say what you think it does." She got even more mad and said, "What would I know?" I explained that I was Korean American, can read Korean, and what it says is not nice. I asked her what happened to the tattoo shop, and she said she always wanted to get Asian characters and went to a shop and saw a Chinese guy in the shop and demanded that he be the one to do her ink. I asked Julie and Andy if Julie did anything that could have pissed the tattoo artist off. She denied it, but Andy confessed she was super pushy about it and kept saying that she wanted him to do it over any other artist in the shop because he would be used to the characters, plus a few other statements. By this point, she was crying and not enjoying hanging out for New Year's Eve. She wanted to leave, and she wanted Andy to take her. On her way out, she asked me what it said. I said, "It's like the worst thing you could call a woman. It's like female dog, but worse." She just burst into tears while walking out. After the two of them left, the rest of my friends said that I was a real jerk for spoiling her new tattoo, and I could have made something up or not reacted. I had to explain that the word used is really a cultural faux pas, and to see it on skin is shocking to the highest degree. And the fact that I was sipping on a beer when she revealed it only made a spit take impossible to avoid. Well, this morning I got some messages from friends saying that I should really apologize to Julie for traumatizing her about her tattoo. I feel like this is ridiculous. Like, it's a really vulgar word on her arm, and if I had that on my skin, I'd like to know. But everyone else thinks that I should just have complimented her instead. So Reddit, am I the asshole for revealing to a friend what her tattoo actually says? In the comments, Crabby Ol' Liberian says, "Not the asshole. Hangul and Chinese characters are completely different. She's embarrassed, and rightly so because she effed up. Personally, I think you did her a solid by pointing it out. Offer to get a Sharpie and fix until she can get it covered." Sigh. And who gets a tattoo in a foreign language without checking it out? A quick Google Translate on her phone would have shown her what it said, or at least what it should look like. I have a Sanskrit word tattoo, and before I got it, I researched its meaning. One person who knows Sanskrit told me that it needed a minor correction, which I had done. If I had a vulgarity inked on my body, I would be so thankful that someone told me, "You did the right thing." Not the asshole. She will undoubtedly come across additional people who are able to read it and who will probably react strongly to it. I hope she learns from it not to be pushy when dealing with service members and to do her homework before committing to anything. Not the asshole. You didn't give her the shitty tattoo. You informed her that it said something bad. Everyone is only mad at you because you brought it to light, as you should. If I had what sounds like a possible slur on my arm, I would want to know ASAP so I could get the tattoo covered up or laser removed. Love how none of the friends are upset with Julie for being a racist witch. Yeah, what's going on? How is everyone on Julie's side for this one? I understand not rocking the boat, but just reinforcing the boat like this is crazy. Oh yeah, she was a crazy psycho racist woman to this Asian person who she singled out and was like, do it in Chinese! Do the Chinese characters right now! And he wasn't even Chinese. That's fine. Let's just ignore the fact that she did that and focus on the Asian American here and how him pointing it out was the wrong thing. Are we living in fantasy land here? Am I not understanding things correctly? Did they not see what was going on in front of their eyes? What an insanely horrendous, racist thing for her to do, and then have everyone be like, you know what? It's easier to back the racist, crazy psycho because I don't want her directing that energy towards me, so let's go for the innocent party here who was just trying to help. He's obviously the asshole. I don't even think that this is a situation where the road to hell is paved with good intentions exists. Because, you were taking her to heaven and she was like, hell nah, I'm nosediving face first back into hell. Don't you try and stop me. And now, onto the updates. My friends contacted me a day later and apologized for responding to me the way that they did New Year's Eve. They said they were more worried about the New Year's Eve party being brought down that night, but after sleeping on it and getting back to work, most of them realized they too would have wanted to know if they got branded with a vulgar word. Also, very few knew Julie, and only knew her through Andy, so they mostly tolerate her. Apparently this isn't her first incident either, and Julie isn't white, which is kind of funny, everyone painting her as some blonde white girl. So I decided to play peacemaker, and I talked to Andy and Julie, and even offered to meet them at the tattoo shop. We went on Friday night, walked in, and I saw the tattoo artist in question. The funny thing is, most Asians can tell that I'm half Asian by looking, so he saw and went, "You told her what it said, yes?" kind of nonchalantly in Korean. We had a brief discussion in Korean. He remarked my accent had an American twang to it, asked where my family was from, found out both our families came from the same city. The gist is, I pointed out he could get sued for the tat. He admitted that he pressed his luck with it and offered to pay out of his pocket for another artist in the shop to do a cover-up. I relayed that back to Julie, and that seemed to appease her. She went to one of the, I guess tattoo people would call it a workstation, and he explained that she still has to wait 2 months. Julie didn't like that, even when the artist explained that standard procedure is to wait 2 months for a tat to heal until a cover-up is done. Andy thankfully Googled it and pointed out that 2 months seems to be a minimum, and more complex tattoos have up to 6 months recommended healing before a cover job. She accepted the offer for a free cover, and paperwork was signed and such. In the comments, I'm Not Creepy 3 says, "A few years ago, I was at the convenience store and this woman in line in front of me was talking to the cashier about a tattoo that she got on the back of her neck. She claimed it meant something like peace or love in Chinese, and it actually just said, 'I am' in Korean." So stupid. I have monkey tattooed on me because it's my Chinese zodiac. I actually had a customer ask me if I knew what it meant once, because, I'm assuming, he thought it meant something like strength or beauty. He seemed relieved when I said monkey. I don't get how people who get foreign words tattooed on them don't quadruple check the meanings themselves before actually doing it. My Greek professor was running late to a meeting that I'd scheduled once. He told me a totally random girl, student at the university but not in his classes, had popped by his office asking for help. She was planning to get a very obscure/complex quote tattooed on herself in Greek, so he had busted out every reference book he could find to make sure her tattoo was absolutely perfect. Seriously, don't get a tattoo in a language you can't read. It's just a terrible idea. At least my "your tattoo doesn't say what you thought it does" was just telling someone that their tat basically said princess instead of a religious daughter of God. Supposedly, her priest knew Hebrew well enough to write what she wanted, but a letter was missing that made a pretty big difference in meaning. All my own tattoos are in English, and if I ever get another language it would be in Hebrew, which I do speak. I still stand by what I said, that it was incredibly racist, and she's an idiot for doing what she did. I didn't really think of the fact that the tattoo artist can get in trouble for that as well. It doesn't exactly stand out to me as like hate speech, because I've seen way worse tattooed on people, but the fact that it was done maliciously, I feel like regardless of how she treated him in that moment, yeah, that would still make you liable for being sued by her for that. Smart move by OP to go in and tell him that and be like, your ass is on the line for this one, buddy. Doesn't matter what she did, you're in trouble. Our next post is by user ThrowRAAccountant371, titled, My whole marriage is built on lies. I don't know who to trust. I'm using a burner account. I'm afraid this will be leaked by him, but I am on my work computer. I am a 45-year-old female, my husband is 47 years old, we have 3 daughters, 20 female, 19 female, and 15 female. What I thought was a perfect family was a lie orchestrated by my husband. We moved into a new home closer to the middle daughter's college. As I was unpacking some of the stuff, I came across my husband's box. I was just checking if things were missing or not. I opened his box and found some stuff. Those were my photos when I was 20 years old. There were pictures of me going to college, to my gym, hangout spots with my friends. There were lists of the places that I used to visit when I was 20 years old. But here's the thing, I met my husband on my 22nd birthday. So why does he have numerous pictures of me in different places from 20 to 22? He had pictures of me in my own apartment back then. As I went down into the rabbit hole, I discovered many things. A list of the places I normally went to back then, like my gym, my library, my classes. He had lists of all my friends and their names in a diary. He even had the list of all the guys that I'd dated back then. I found his diary from 1998. Most of his entries were about me. I didn't even know who he was back then. He didn't even exist for me. I won't bore you with all the details, but basically, he staged the day we met for the first time. To woo me, he took a job as a bartender at the bar that I usually went to. He spiked my drink so that I could pass out and he could save me. It worked because I was very much impressed by him. I mean, any guy would take advantage of a drunk girl, but he didn't. He took me to my home safely when my roommate received me. I forgot my purse in the bar, which was my husband's ploy too. He stole my purse so that I could come and get it. From there, we started dating. I don't want to say that everything he did was a lie, but that's all that was. Now I know why he would always bring me things that I liked. I thought that we were soulmates, but in reality, he was just a creep who stalked me for 2 years. I never felt like I was in his control. In fact, he has always showered me with love. He was not controlling or abusive, he had always been there for me. He was so sweet, passionate, and caring that I felt like the luckiest girl in the world to be with him. Even now, when I told him that I have to work the day before Christmas, he smiled and told me that he'll handle it. Now this is all a lie. I don't even know the person that I married. How can I ever trust him? We've built our lives around a lie. How can I tell my children that their father is a con? I feel like I'm going crazy. No one will believe me. He's created this image about himself that he can do no wrong. Please help me sort these feelings. I do not know what to feel. Of course, he lied and hid the truth from me. God knows how much more he is hiding. I have doubts that he even has a second family because of what a psychopath he is. I try to remember good things about him, but the fact that he has staged my entire life, starting from when we started dating, is scary to me. I left out many details because he uses Reddit. About the photos, OP says, "No, I didn't share them. Those photos were taken by him while he was creeping on me. I hadn't even met him back then. And it's very ironic that you are more concerned about his privacy being violated when he has been violating my privacy for more than 20 years. On If the Story is Fake, OP says, "I'm going to make it clear once and for all, and people who are interested can read this comment. No, this is not fake. I changed some details to make it less obvious, but the main point is unchanged. Why would I attention seek through a throwaway? And for those who were asking about the diaries, I came across them while setting up our house. Back then, he had a habit of journaling. He would keep a diary with him everywhere he goes. He stopped after our wedding. He has kept every diary. I didn't read any of those, just the one from the year when he was stalking. Stop reporting it." In the comments, Empty Space 227 says, "The fact that you discovered all of this after 20 good years of marriage must make it all the more difficult and heartbreaking. Most of the stalker behavior is weird and creepy, but maybe could have been forgotten if he was otherwise a good guy. But he drugged you. He intentionally drugged you. This is such an awful and selfish thing to do. If you think this may impact whether you want to stay married to him, please talk to an attorney. But no matter what else you do, please talk to a therapist. I think this is heavy enough that you should consider professional help in dealing with your feelings on it. He may have changed from 20 years ago, but why keep all the sordid details, the names of her friends? That guy has psychological issues and is not safe. I feel for OP. It may be difficult for her to find a therapist who can help in a bizarre case like this. An attorney is the best first thing to do. I'm not sure that I'd even discuss it with him. Who knows what else he's hidden over the years? And now, on to the updates. Hello everyone, Happy New Year's. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Thanks for all the comments and advice. I know many of you are eager for an update, so here it is. Long story short, we are separated. We are both attending therapy, individual and couples therapy. We are not getting a divorce for now, but I did tell my girls the truth. Long version, the day after I posted this, I started to plan how I wanted to approach it. I acted like everything was normal during Christmas, but my husband had noticed that I was concerned. It was hard faking everything knowing how much he had lied. After the Christmas dinner, I sat down with my husband and told him everything. I even showed him what I had found. I asked him to tell me the truth. He didn't deny it. He said that he once saw me at the gym and knew that he wanted to meet me. So he followed me around. Back then, all my hangout places, gym, college, were in the same area, so it was easy for him. He would often be sitting outside my house some days to see where I go. Then when he saw the bar that I used to go with my friends quite often, he somehow managed to get a job there. And you know the rest. At that moment, I felt sick to my stomach. I was overwhelmed with fear and anger. I was crying. My husband came to comfort me and I screamed at him, "Don't you touch me, you effing creep!" I can see that he was hurt by it. He was begging me to forgive him. He said that he knows what he did was wrong, but the love for me that he had was true. We didn't sleep the whole night. I pressured him to tell me everything, like how much he controlled my life, or I would tell the girls everything. He was honest. He said the night we met was the only thing that he orchestrated. Everything else was true. He didn't follow me, he trusted me and begged me to not leave him. When the morning came, I urged my husband to tell the girls the truth, because I wanted separation, and I do not want to hide anything from them. We didn't tell them anything about the stalking, just the fact that we will be separating and that we still love them. My youngest didn't take it well. My oldest and middle child were understanding. I told my husband that he and I both need therapy to see where we do stand. I was seriously questioning my marriage. Then again, he was the best partner I've ever had. He is a perfect husband and a good father. I remember those times when we would enjoy the snow on New Year's and barely get out of bed. I will always remember the good memories that we shared. Our wedding, our honeymoon, the birth of our children, and every family vacation. Those were not lies. I know that he loves me deeply, but this is something that I cannot get out of my head. Now I just feel guilty about calling him a creep. I can see that it broke him inside. I love him so deeply, and I know he loves me too. He never hurt me or did anything that would cause me any harm. He never cheated on me. He could have, but he didn't. That's why divorce is not an option. We will see how we can move past this through therapy. This might just be my last update, unless things change. In the comments, Armchair Detective says, I feel like there's something wrong with nearly every comment on here. OP's original post explained that her husband administered a date-ray drug to her the first time they met. He did this so he could save her and look like a good guy. Honestly, that would be it for me. This man is psychotic, and anyone who thinks he's a good man, who just loves her, needs to take a long look at what they think is acceptable behavior. OP is not safe with him. He should not be allowed near women. It's so crazy. This whole thing is insane. Her story reads like someone who's been groomed. He could have cheated and didn't. Anyone else would have taken advantage of a girl that had been drugged. Her reality is so skewed, and no one here is taking this seriously enough. He stalked her, he drugged her, and manipulated her. Of course he isn't going to admit anything past what she has evidence of. He clearly has used the information about her that he got while stalking her to woo her and make her think that they are soulmates. For the sake of setting a good example for her daughters, since she probably won't do it for herself, they need to be informed and watch her leave him. It's not like he orchestrated a meet cute after he saw her at the gym. He stalked her, tracked her movements and places that she habitually visited, he watched her home, he followed her around. He took pictures of her in her own home. He got a job serving drinks at her regular bar and drugged her and stole her purse. I'm sorry, but you sound like a Stockholm Syndrome victim. He drugged you. For you to believe anything that comes out of his mouth now is astounding. And why did he keep all of his stalking souvenirs? He had to know that they could lead him to being discovered. The psychology behind this is grotesque. You have no idea who you were married to. None. There is a dangerous stranger in your house around your children. Does your individual therapist know the whole story? Anyways, if this post is real, I hope you'll focus on your individual therapy and start secretly laying the groundwork for a safe escape if you should need one. I fear that if he ever truly believed that you were leaving, he would turn very dark and possibly kill you. I remember reading this, and some of the comments were disturbing. Some people actually believed that being followed for 2 years and being drugged is not a big deal. I'm wondering what the hell else this dude did the other 20 years to keep his wife. I feel like people are conflating the watched her from afar at a place they both regularly attended, such as school or work, and maybe noticed what she liked to get from vending machines before working up the courage to approach her, rom-com trope, with literally stalked her to use the knowledge that she couldn't suspect he had to manipulate her after literally drugging her, psychological thriller trope here. There's a big difference between high school stalking, where you might change which way you go to class or join an activity to get more time around a crush, and full-on waiting outside someone's house to figure out their entire routine and taking creep shots, also drugging her. That is genuinely so terrifying and soul-crushing because that's not something that you can just get over. Even if he was honest and didn't orchestrate anything about her life, from that point on, everything is still tainted. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!